Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 270th edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Enemy, which opened at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 8th, 2013. It's, of course, directed by super ultra friend of the show, Denis Villeneuve. It is a mystery drama, and the synopsis says, a mild-mannered college professor investigates the life of an actor who looks exactly like him. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Fitzy, you made us watch this movie. So, what did you think of it?
Yep.
And how many times? I particularly want to know how many times you've seen it, actually, as it relates to this conversation.
Oh, yeah, I should probably know the answer to that, but I'll say, I mean, the times I rewatched it were probably like before I even had Letterboxd, so I probably won't be able to find it. But like probably like four or five.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty huge.
It's been a few times, yeah.
But has it been a minute since you've watched it though?
I think so. I think I checked on it. It was a few years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I have really loved this film in the past. It's definitely kind of one of those early formative, films, like as a teenager or whatever. I didn't love it as much this time. It was a bit like I definitely felt the kind of slowness of it, but the positives of the film are still like very strong. I mean, the atmosphere, the puzzle box kind of fucking symbolic aspect to it is still very strong. The soundtrack, the way it kind of just maintains this like eeriness and the atmosphere, as I said. And it's a very it's obviously very metaphorical or whatever, but it like in the end, it's quite a succinct metaphor. I think you can kind of neatly wrap it up in the end. But yeah, it's cool. It's good. What do you think is?
Okay, I'm pretty much. I guess I'm pretty much right there with you. I think this is undeniably a very good movie. There's a lot of strong things about it technically and direction-wise that feel like top-tier artistry and filmmaking on display. And there's no surprise here with Denis behind the camera on this, and you can tell. It does play reasonably well as this kind of bizarre mystery that you can spend the duration trying to make sense of, and like the mystery box element, like you said, absolutely. I think that plays. I think it keeps the audience thinking and on their toes, and that's good. I just don't. The thing that holds this film back a little bit for me is that I just don't know that I walk away from it feeling very much. It doesn't really provide an experience watching it that leaves an impression on me. It's just kind of like when I think of the film, I just keep coming back to how well made it is, how cool some shots are, the atmosphere. Totally agreed, and that's all great. But I don't know. It doesn't resonate hugely beyond that right now. It's kind of like a great intellectual film in that it's like a great example film or something. It's like I don't know. I don't love watching it necessarily outside of it. Like I don't know, intellectually I do. I appreciate a lot about it, but it's not like I don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? I'm not like wrapped up in it. I guess it's probably the best way I can put it. But yeah, no, very cool movie. Very cool movie. Yeah, I can see how this would be like a formative, eye-opening cinema experience. I feel like when I kind of think of Aronofsky's Mother in the same way for me, like, because I hadn't seen this. I've seen this film once, only a couple of years ago. I didn't watch this one until fairly recently. But like, I don't know, that Mother movie. Like, I don't know if I were to rewatch it now, I've got no idea if I'd like it. But at the time, I'm like, holy shit, this is like, this is like metaphor and shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I think that movie's well made too. So it's like it kind of had. I think that might be a somewhat, I don't know, applicable comparison in that sense. But I get exactly what you mean. But I'm glad you've seen it like 4 or 5 times. So I've only seen it the one other time, and like I watched it. This is probably 2 years ago, and feel basically the same way I do now, except I think I have a better understanding of what the film's actually about now. But I didn't. I don't know. I don't think I like. Maybe I didn't. I forgot, and I've forgotten. But I don't recall like that. I looked up what this film was about, or anything. Like I didn't dive into like the Google aspect or the YouTube of this film at all. Like when I watched it, I don't think. Or if I did, I certainly forgot. So I assume you'll have a better understanding of what the film is actually about than me. So if you don't
I went
mind,
straight into the YouTube shit when I was like,
okay,
13
great.
or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so do you mind if I give you my take as a starting point to jump off of, and we'll see how off I am, or how maybe I don't know. I
Sure.
don't know. We'll see. My rough and probably basic, maybe interpretation of this whole thing is that this film is about the guilt that this one man has for his infidelity and being a shitty husband.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. And the
Oh,
spiders. What are the spiders?
I don't know what the hell the spiders are. I mean, I guess they just sort of reflect that in some way. But I was going to absolutely ask what the spiders are.
I think I watched the Chris Stuckmann explain video, and he basically said like the spiders are women, or like what women represent to Jake, or to, I don't know, should we call him Adam, or is it Adam?
Adam and
Or
Anthony.
Anthony, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
like what they represent to him. So, I guess they also represent like, I don't know, like overly feeling like trapped in like a relationship or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a pretty simple kind of one-to-one, metaphor like translation that I've just kind of like accepted. I haven't really like thought about what else do the spiders mean or whatever. They're just kind of they're just that to Jake, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But like, the spiders do need to be discussed because they're pretty. They
Mm.
stand out when you watch the film. It's like, do spiders have some sort of? Is it like some sort of deeper mythological? Or not, I don't know, but like you know how like animals mean different things, different cultures, or whatever.
Mm.
Like, is there something that
Mm.
ties spiders back in some way that makes sense, or is it? I don't know, or is it like why spiders? You know?
Right, why spiders do that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're
Is it?
just because they're scary. I don't know. Because they're
Yeah, yeah,
creepy.
yeah. Like, is it got something to do with? I was going to say, has it got something to do with them being like off-putting or like like yeah, scary? I don't know, yeah, something like that.
Um, I don't know. Like one of the details with the spiders though is that the big spider we see in that one shot like of over the
Oh,
city.
absolutely.
That happens right after he has the meeting with his mother, with Isabella Rossellini, her character. And so basically this like, the mother is like the ultimate like woman in his like subconscious brain. So that's why that spider appears directly after that scene.
Okay,
Um,
and it's like, and it's what it looms large,
yeah,
literally.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Um,
But
but
yeah, in
like the
terms of
spiders,
like, yeah,
that they
I don't know.
are. I mean, I don't know because like I get it. Like, I agree. I think we're on the track of what they represent, like in terms of the female aspect from his viewpoint. But like, yeah, I'm just curious why spiders. Like, I don't know. Like, we get the connection, but we also could get the connection if it was like any other animal, I guess. Well, maybe not any other animal, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think yeah. Well, like snakes wouldn't work. Oh, maybe I don't know.
Jeez,
I feel like spiders just work. I don't know. They're
they
just
kind of yeah, they kind of do. They kind of
they
do.
just because like you can lose track of spiders, and then they kind of freak you out when you're not paying attention.
Okay, all right,
Like
all right.
women, no, like just the way he thinks of um, like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's like Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know.
I was just going to try and let you talk yourself
Yeah,
into a corner.
thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do. So like, okay, I do like how the two we only get two actually fairly brief glimpses of spiders in this film, and the spiders are very different actually, which is worth saying as well. It's not like the
Mm.
same spider or it's a recurring spider or anything. It's just the thing about them is that we saw spiders twice, and that's basically it. But the ending spider, the big spider in the room, like if we're trying, I don't know, can we figure out why it's a spider based on Jake his reaction to it? Like, what is that? What is that shot meant to elicit? Like, is it when he walks in there and he's startled? Oh, I guess he's startled, right, by having a huge spider there and its size
Yeah,
and everything. What is that meant to be for him? You know, is
but
it
like I think he has like a face of like recognition or whatever. There, like when he's like realized there's like repeated, he's repeated what he's done before. Because he almost looks like guilty in that shot. He doesn't look like just
right?
purely startled. I don't think.
Right. Yeah. It's not just yeah. Okay. There's more than just like, oh fuck, there's a big spider in my room. Like,
Yeah,
because
I
I
think
don't think there
if it
literally
was
is
just
any,
that,
obviously.
he would have had a different face. He would have been like, you know, he would have shown a bit more fear, I guess. Although he
Yeah.
is fearful in that scene, but not in the same way. Not like
No.
a fucking beast, like a fundamental kind of way.
Is there a way to translate the scene? This is another thing that I was thinking about with the film, and if you can do that, if you can do what I'm about to say with certain scenes or not, I'm not really sure yet. But can you translate that scene where he walks into the room, sees the huge ass spider, into some
Well,
sort
the
of
spider's like
literal
backed as
hint?
well. Like it doesn't. Like the
Yes.
spider's like scared of being squashed. That's obviously like what's going on there.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. So is that it's scared of being squashed? So
So
like if
that
it's
more or less represents like him ending like a relationship with someone or like being unfaithful with someone.
yes.
Just like at the start of the film, like the normal sized kind of tarantula is like getting squashed and he's like feeling like, guilt about it. He's like looking through his eyes like or he's like kind of scared of what's gonna happen.
Okay. Oh my god, I totally forgot about the spider at the start. Holy shit, I feel that's really obvious now. But like, is this is the spider meant to literally? It's not literally meant to be like. I'm not saying what's her face. The wife literally turned into the spider, but like, is the spider not meant to represent her in the scene nonetheless? Like, is it?
Oh yeah, I think so, yeah. Because
Is it like?
he's gonna go back to the thing with like the key, which is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah.
But I can't remember. Forgive me, I can't remember exactly like what the interaction was with them right before that. Like, is it her like confronting him about it? Is it her like having learnt, oh, he's going back again, and that's like representative in some way of like her reaction to it? Like, does she
Yeah, I think
learn
so.
anything? Like, she
But
picks
like
up on it
but
in the scene. Yeah.
but I think like that place with those guys watching the girls and the spider, like that itself is like represents him being unfaithful. Like I don't think that's like an actual I mean, everything in the movie I guess is like an actual thing that happens.
Right. Yeah.
But like
Well.
I
Yeah.
think that itself is like a metaphor for, him like cheating or something.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's just such
Plus,
a
I
yeah.
think like oh no, we'll get to that later. Let's go. No, it's fine.
Oh, okay. That dude, I'll just say like that big spider shot at the end is still so wild. Like
Mm.
it left such an impression the first time. It's so startling. Obviously, I forgot it was so short, and then the movie just ends. That's it. Like I actually
Yeah,
kind
it's a
of.
good like song though. I like the ending song.
Oh
Incredible.
yeah. No, I do too. Actually, I mean, all the music in this movie is good, but I don't know. I just it like it feels like, or at least in my mind, in my recall, it felt like it was a longer scene or something. Like it's just going back to it. It's just funny how like it's a 2-second shot and then cut to
Yeah.
his face and then just the credits hit and it's like that's it. And like the effect it has is that it's obviously meant to be startling, but I don't know. I imagine seeing that shit at like the premiere. People must have been absolutely taken aback. Like you'd conventionally expect you'd get something else, like the spider would be, I don't know, like the climax, I guess, or like something where that then there would be some resolution to. You know what I mean? Like the spider itself doesn't really feel like a resolution, but like I guess it is because it's just the movie just ends, and it's just kind of like I
Right.
don't know. I still don't know exactly like. I was
Well,
still kind of taken aback by it.
yeah, no, like I was looking at like the runtime at the bottom or whatever, and it was like, wow, we only got like a minute left. What about the whole spider thing? But
Exactly.
like, oh, I guess I get into this now. Like, I think it's interesting how, we have actor Jack who's like more like reserved and meek or whatever. And he like assumes the identity of the actor. Sorry, we have Professor Jack who's like meek and stuff, and he assumes the identity of the actor guy, who kind of represents like the ability to cheat, let's say. And like as soon as he gets that key, he already like takes it. As soon as he gets the opportunity, he like takes it, and that's when that's like the last scene, like him looking at the key, him like making up an excuse, and then the spider backs into the corner. So I don't know. Like there's something really interesting there because I think actor Jake thinks of himself as someone who wouldn't. Sorry, Professor Jake Adams thinks of himself as someone who wouldn't do that, but then as soon as he kind of has the opportunity, he
Yeah,
does. I guess.
dude. That both their names start with A. Like I'm
Yeah,
getting
it's
like if we get into the whole
maybe we
Adam
should go
Anthony.
actor Daniel. Because Daniel St. Clair or whatever.
Oh
His
yeah,
acting
I mean
name.
that would be easier if that was actually the name they used, but they use Anthony more in the movie, which is like oh
Yeah,
man,
that's true. True.
so confused. The subtitles like that. This was my first early clue. Like going back into the film was that the subtitles like only refer to him as he, the
Oh,
character.
oh yeah.
Um, so I'm like that. Like I didn't really remember the film super well. So like I remembered aspects of it, and I was being more alert because I knew the film was a metaphor for something I couldn't really remember. So like I picked up on that. I'm like that was sort of my first clue that I thought, oh, okay, well he's probably just the same guy. And then there were obviously several other clues along the way. But okay, so what you're saying there is that the ending of the film is really just like it's Jake's decision to not change.
Well, yeah. Well, there's also like that quote. Like, he says like he repeats the quote from like Hegel or whatever. He says like the first time is tragedy. The second time is like a farce. And like before that, you have the whole montage where he's talking about like how history repeats itself, and I mean that itself is kind of explaining the routine between Adam and his girlfriend and how he feels like trapped in the control of that relationship. And then you also see like I think there's like a hail, like like the Nazi salute as he walks, like it's some kind of fascist like symbol or whatever, as he walks near the DVD store as well. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
like this idea of like control everywhere. Wait, what was the question? What were you saying?
Oh, so as it relates to the ending of the film, it's the fact that like he loses all control, right? Like he
Oh,
oh wait, is that it? Wait,
well,
no,
I think
maybe
it's
I'm
no. So like I think relationships to him are scary because of the commitment kind of aspect, and that's obviously why like the baby is there
mhm.
as well. Um, so maybe it's spiders because they kind of have this like hovering, like smothering kind of aspect, and maybe
Oh wow.
that's kind of what like commitment like represents to him. Um,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, like the second time is a farce. Like that whole thing and that like all that monologue stuff kind of pays off in the end when he makes the decision to do that again. Um, and I think that like also explains his expression at the end when he sees the spider, because it's like it's not like a tragic expression. It's like it's a recognition of this is like something that's being repeated. He's recognizing her like loss of faith in him for the infidelity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like as in, but as in, like he knows he was caught out.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
knows she knows.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But like not for the
yeah.
first time. Like yeah, he
No,
also
no.
recognizes it. This having happened again. Like yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. So I mentioned like the subtitles was one clue for me, and then another clue was that first scene when we go to like when Adam and Anthony are supposedly talking to each other on the phone, and then we go into oh my god, I'm getting no, we go into Anthony actor Jake. We go into his apartment for the first time, and then he has that whole conversation with his wife about who was on the phone, and the way he responds to his wife, like from our point of view as the audience, he's telling the truth in that we just got like we experienced them having that phone conversation, then he hung up and all that. But the way he then like when his wife asks who was on the phone, and then the way he answers her, and like it was an interesting experience because like we just watched the scene, but then like he's lying, like he's acting like he's lying, and like he's trying to hide something.
Yeah. Well, there's
Yeah,
like
like
clearly like a loss of like there's clearly a loss of trust in their relationship. So he might have like cheated before. I mean that's kind of what it seems like.
yeah, 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 absolutely.
Yeah.
And she says, what she says, oh, are you seeing her again? Is I think what she says, and like,
Mm.
but then and then the way he responds to that, like, if we were interpreting the previous events of the phone call literally, obviously, it would be like, no, of course not, and we'd believe him because we just saw that. But he doesn't answer like that. He kind of goes like, he kind of hesitates to answer, and then starts going like, I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this. Like he starts talking like a
Yeah.
guy who's totally lying. And
Right.
it was just, and that was my first. That was another clue for me. I'm like, oh, I think, yeah, I'm not trusting what I'm seeing here. You know what I mean? I think this guy is lying actually to his wife there. You know. Um.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that
he did
was
answer kind of evasively. Yeah.
very yeah exactly. And then just in that little scene, by the way, I love the wide shot reveal that she was pregnant. That was so simple and very clever.
Mm.
You
Sure.
know, when it just like we get the whole scene of them, and then they're close up on her the entire time, and then it's just like then you just get the wide. It's like it's nothing. Like it's just a wide shot, and it's like, oh, she's pregnant. There it is. That was cool. Changes the context of everything, you know, and it feels important that she's. I mean, the fact she's pregnant feels important throughout. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. Okay. I don't know exactly the thing. An aspect that I'm not entirely sure about is if I can, and if I even should be like trying to understand what's literally happening in this movie or not. Like, is this a path that isn't even worth going down, or a path that we're not meant to go down? You
Mm.
know?
Yeah, I think it's like just easy to think of the whole thing as like a dream, or like
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
The
Yeah, we can
film
go
though,
down the path though if you want.
the thing is, like, I agree, but at the same time, like, the film does sort of root us in these different point of views at times. Like, I guess I'm mainly talking about Anthony's wife, where like when she actually goes and visits Adam at his work and like has that little chat with him outside or whatever. And then you sort of get the aftermath of that briefly as well, where like she's then sitting in the apartment, kind of like in a bit of a state of whatever state she's in of shock or whatever. Um, it's like I don't know, we're pretty rooted in her perspective, in my opinion, in that scene. You know what I mean? Like it never feels like everything we're seeing is unreliable narrator stuff because it's all rooted in Jake Gyllenhaal. You know what I mean? Like it does leave him there, in my opinion, and that's kind of and that's what sort of added another layer of like, I don't know. I can't even necessarily say that this whole thing feels like it's structured as his dream or his whatever else you want to call it, his, lying, his own version of his story or whatever. Like it does. I don't know. That sort of changed it a little bit for me. I don't know if you felt similarly.
I mean, I don't literally think of it as like, I think everything that like happened, this is just like I don't know, like it's just a world where these things happen, it's just a story where these things literally like and like the metaphor is beyond the universe of the movie.
What
you can extract it from it is like
yes.
beyond the universe of the movie, I guess, not like in it.
I see. Yeah. I see. Okay. Does that still work? I think it does. Yeah, I don't mind that.
I mean, like everything in Finding Nemo happened, in the world of Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I guess you're right. So, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I went too far, like just mentally in preparing for this. I went too far the other way of like trying to make it all make sense, like of where it is an obfuscation on Jake's character's part. Because I was starting to go down the road of like, okay, well, at the end when Adam's with the wife, in bed or whatever, and then separately Anthony has the car crash with the other one. I'm starting to go down like, do these happen at different times?
Well, I think I looked at the book synopsis.
Anthony not in the car? Yeah.
Yeah, and like the version of himself that he sees is like a past version of himself from like 5 years ago. So like I guess you could try, if this is like a dream or whatever, you could try to piece together a timeline. Or even if like the car is like a metaphorical thing as well.
Okay.
Because like the mother says to to Adam about like his third-rate dream of being an actor. So like maybe the actor, I don't know if he's the past version or the future version, but maybe he's the future version. I don't know.
Well, some of those details, yeah, for sure. Like that's like, and another one that stood out to me was like, I don't like blueberries. Of course you do, and we know the other one, Anthony, likes blueberries because he harps on about the organic blueberries, which was pretty funny. But so in my head, that was me like thinking that it's within. Again, we're talking strictly within. We understand the metaphor, but within the universe of the movie, it is the same guy, and it's just when he's conflicted on some level. And then, like, that shows inconsistencies in the details of, like, things he says he likes or doesn't like, and he's just kind of a bit shambled, I guess. That's kind of how I was viewing it. Just because, like, why else would... I don't know. The line that you brought up about him giving up his dream as a third-rate actor feels like a line, at least when I was watching it, I interpreted as an attempt to clearly link the two beyond just metaphor. You know what I mean? Of like, they are actually the same guy. Timeline-wise, it would mean that he acted in those movies, then, gave it up, or like, was still trying to do it on the side or whatever, and then like did get the history teacher job.
Okay, you think acting was previous? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
that makes more sense because that like it's a more secure job. The person, but I mean that doesn't make sense as well because like when she calls him, did you notice that like Anthony only picks up when Adam like goes behind the like behind the wall of the the university building. She was just like ringing, and then as soon as he disappears behind the wall, Anthony like picks up, which is like a hint
Oh,
that like
really?
they're the same person. Yeah, it's a cool
Oh,
detail.
what you mean when the wife's sitting there on the bench?
Yeah, yeah, and like he leaves, and then she like calls Anthony to like see
Yeah,
what's going
yeah.
on.
Oh, really? Oh, no, I didn't notice that. No.
Mm.
If anything, I actually thought. I think you're right. This isn't me saying like I'm not trying to correct you at all, but like I thought it was the opposite, where like she was looking at Adam as she was speaking to Anthony, and it was like confirmation. It's like, oh, this can't be the same guy. But like
Oh no,
I was
no,
not. I'm not 100% sure. I could be totally wrong.
no. She definitely called after he left, and that happened.
Okay, that is
Um,
funny then. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So I mean,
so then,
like on some level, they're the same person, but I think like literally, they're not. On a level above,
yeah,
they
yeah,
are. Yeah.
yeah. So if we want to stick on that level above for a second, then what
Okay.
is
Yeah.
that? What is that experience for her when she's there on the bench? Is she okay? So hang on, going with the idea that it's like because you said he goes around the corner. So what was it? Wait, this is fucking with me now. Was she like when she was talking to him on the bench and had that little interaction of like, oh, how's your day or whatever that was? Like, does she think like it's him lying to her, like trying to mess with her or something?
Mm,
Like, how does
I think
she
she's
read that?
trying to decide if that's what's happening or just crazy. But I think she knows it's like someone else. I don't know. Yeah, she's like no, no, like I think earlier she was thinking that, but like in that scene, she was just like kind of traumatized by like how similar they are and realizing it was like someone else.
Oh yeah. Because then afterwards, like when she goes back home and then Anthony walks in, he's like she says it like I went to his work and he is a separate guy.
Hmm. Yeah.
She's not like I saw you today and you were trying to fuck with me. Like
Well, she's like that on the phone initially, but yeah, she comes to.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
actually fun.
You know what? Like I mean, all that detailed stuff we're talking about is interesting, but at the same time, I prefer your Nemo version. I prefer just sticking with it. It's Nemo. It's everything that happens in this world is just its world, and that's fine. So, hey, does that mean it's just a normal event that a Godzilla spider is just walking through the city? It just happens in this world. They just get like monthly warnings or something. Oh, the spider's coming back.
Yeah,
It's probably got a
yeah.
name.
I just don't care. It's like, but it's supposed to. I
Oh,
think another thing from that video was like it's like it's supposed to parallel the 50-foot attack of the 50-foot woman or whatever, which he sees a poster of in
oh
the
yeah.
DVD store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess like just pregnant wives turning into spiders and that kind of thing is you know somewhat common, or maybe not common, but one of those things.
One of those things. The
Yeah.
the spider. So the spider that is walking through the city obviously is very different to the tarantula. I guess that's a tarantula. I don't know. It's like a thicker spider at the end. Um, the one that's walking through the city. Did you know? In the trivia, it was it's a reference to this sculpture series of sculptures called Maman. I think I'm saying it right.
Oh, like mom in French.
Yes, Louise.
Mm.
Louise. I'm going to butcher this name. Louise Borgiosi or something. Um, her sculptures. If you Google them, like they're all over the world, like in various spots, and like it's literally like it says here it's a reference to those sculptures. Like it's literally exactly those sculptures. Like, it's exactly what they are. The exact
Mm.
design of the spider. Which is very specifically, in my opinion, pretty frightening design. It's pretty scary, to be honest. I'm pretty scared of it. Because it doesn't like it is obviously a spider, I guess, but it's not really anything that resembles a real spider. It's just kind of like this ominous, almost like alien feeling thing that just looms large over the city. Um, I guess I'm just saying that I think the design's really cool and the shot is crazy. Like it's really stands out. It's not, I guess, dissimilar to the startling effect of the ending shot, where it's like when this shot turns up in this movie, it's just like, whoa! It's just really cool. It's an insane shot. It's striking, and that I don't know, just like seeing the design and the scale of it out of nowhere. It's like there's no narrative build up to it. There's no narrative, plot, whatever feeling that it's like there's a reason it's there in that moment. It's just like it's just there. And it's there amongst many establishing shots. I want to say there's like 4 or 5 different times that the film cuts to these like, cityscape establishing shots. And it's just kind of
Mm.
one of them. And it's not even the last one. It's definitely not the first one. It's just like the film does it more after this, where there's no spider. So it's just crazy how it's just there in one of them.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually I was looking for the spider in some of those other shots because they're like so similar. I was like, am I just like blind and I can't see it right now?
Yeah.
It's kind of
But
like
no,
a thin spider.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, that's totally true. It's like you're there watching, and especially when it wasn't there like afterwards. You're like, surely it's got to be here. It's going to pop up, and it just doesn't. But no, I honestly think it's awesome. Like it just has a very cool effect when you're watching it. It's a cool surprise. But as for like in terms of it, why it only happens once, like I don't know, like to your point about the mother, maybe that's the reason. It is.
Well, if it's named after like a French sculpture named, after the maman, then that makes sense as well.
Absolutely, yeah. There you go. That's cool. Yeah. That's such an interesting creative like process that must have been. I would love to let's get Denis on the show. I'd love to chat to Denis about that. Like what was the order of events there? Was it like did you discover the design of the sculpture? Like maybe he might have already known about it for years or something. And then he wanted to put it in this movie and then he decided he was only going to put it in one spot. And then, you know what I mean? Like I would be so fascinated to learn like how that came about of like, he then realized,
yeah.
if we're only going to put it one spot, let's put it here, obviously, because then it's the same with the mother and everything. That's interesting. Yeah. Because it's such a memorable shot. What does it mean for the relationship with the girlfriend, Adam's girlfriend? What's it played by Melanie Laurent, or however you say that? How do you say that? Is that how you say it?
Melanie Laurent.
Laurent?
Like you said Laurent. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes way more sense. What does it mean for that relationship? Because early on in the film, it's sort of like we sort of obviously meet Adam first, and we get a glimpse at his life and his relationship there first, and it's presented as it feels like a pretty depressing cycle that he's sort of living through. It sort of seems like he's pretty checked out. Needs I don't know, some energy, some happiness in his life or something. So it's presented as a negative thing, that relationship for him. Obviously, metaphor wise, I guess would you agree that it reflects he's obviously cheating with her. That's the person he keeps going back to, or at least has done multiple times. So it's like I don't know. Is it the fact that the Adam persona, he's depressed because it's his addiction playing out? It's his, and it's the
Right.
guilt manifesting in some way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I didn't think of it that way just because like I was stuck on like the whole because when they're showing the montage of like the unhappy relationship, he's talking about like routine and control and that kind of thing. So I just thought it would be more something that she was like, or that he thought like she was like projecting onto him. But she doesn't like she's a fairly like passive character, I guess.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of hard to make that argument. But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like if he was originally an actor and he cheated with her, which is like what the actor does in the movie, and then he's like regretting it afterwards. Well, he's like stuck now. I guess that's what like the control element of it. Like either like
Yeah.
he would either get stuck with the baby or with her in kind of an unhappy situation or whatever.
Yeah. 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 That makes sense. Um, the other aspect with her, she does seem to leave like during sex every time, right? Is that how you read that? Because like in that opening sort of montage sequence, that sort of feels like what happens where she sort of gets up in the like
Yeah,
every time, and I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. Um, and then I was trying to tie that to this is something I haven't squared yet. Where I was then trying to tie that to the ending, where obviously she it happens there because like she sees the mark of the spot of the finger of the ring or whatever. So the idea is that she realizes in that moment, oh, you're married and you're being, you're cheating on someone, and she like gets up and leaves about that. But if
like what does it
now,
represent earlier on in the film?
yeah,
No,
this is me getting stuck between Nemo and Metaphor, I think. Um, but yeah, it's like I think part of me kind of wanted to link it back to like if you're doing the timeline, I guess like every time that she gets up and leaves early, it's because she's like she's it's her learning that every time. Like
oh,
he doesn't actually keep going back to her. You know what I mean? He doesn't actually have this continuous relationship with her. It's like it's playing out in his, I guess, in his dream or
oh,
his head,
right,
you want to
right.
say.
Because like it's all like a kind of echo of what actually happened in like
Yes,
the ring scene.
yes,
Right.
like that. It just happened. What like it was just him seeing this girl for however long it was or whatever,
Yeah, it
and
was
that's
just
how it blew
like a
up.
fling or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Wasn't
yeah,
like
and that's
yeah.
how it blew up with the ring thing at that time, whenever that was, and that's
Oh
and
yeah.
that's and that's when when the wife is like, oh, you're seeing her again or whatever. Like I don't know if he actually is, or but we know whatever. It's just yeah, I just thought it was an interesting detail that like why does she seem to get up every time like
Yeah.
this?
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, like I think looking at it that way makes a lot of sense because you can just kind of see Adam as a an after effect of everything. Like that kind of echo thing.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and you kind of just can look at the actor's timeline or like his story to look at like what actually happened pretty easily. Um,
Huh. Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like when that was happening, it was just kind of like I was just thinking of it on like a surface level, like the sex, them not being able to finish or whatever, like represented like the
Mm.
unhappiness. But it does
Oh,
make
yeah,
sense that it's
yeah.
like yeah, a bit deeper than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true. And that would, yeah, I guess that would be a depressing cycle in and of itself. Um, yeah, but yeah, it just stood out to me. I was just kind of like, why does this seem to happen every night? And then they just, I don't know, just seem to meet up then the next day, like pretty casually, like normally. I just kind of, yeah, that did stick with me. So I guess, yeah,
Hmm.
I like what you said. There's that, so that sort of, I guess this throws out the Nemo aspect, but like, I guess you can trace it through like would you say Anthony is primary protagonist actually? Like in terms of like trying to
Yeah, I
decide
guess
in terms
so.
of when the film says at the start chaos is order yet undeciphered, which is funny. I like that. But
Right.
it's like Adam is kind of like narratively structurally Adam is all the chaos and Anthony is just kind of like if you just follow Anthony it's pretty much there. And then like Adam is just like the part of Anthony that is guilty and that is kind of stuck. And it's like all the negative side. It's all the negative, ball of
Yeah.
energy of Anthony just kind of represented on screen. Just kind of, and then otherwise everything that plays out with Anthony kind of follows, kind of tracks.
Right. Yeah. I guess the film kind of tricks you by like having Adam as the like the first kind of lens or whatever. Although even later,
Yes.
like you don't really get much from Anthony's perspective. Like it's predominantly you see way more of Adam, but like I think this theory is definitely like accurate. It's just
Yeah,
like the film definitely hides it in a very effective way by just having Adam as the main kind of lens for the audience and seeing him first
definitely,
and everything. Yeah.
definitely, and it's obviously it's tricky. It's a trick because it's like obviously we start with Adam where like Adam's our main character like from the start it feels like, and then you're right, it's not like it doesn't feel like it never switches, it never goes harder into Anthony. We obviously get more of Anthony as he becomes a presence, but you're right, it predominantly does stick with Adam the whole way, and that feels like like that. I guess it's meant to throw us off, or it's meant to it does change the perspective for sure, because if you want to think of it that way, it's like it's almost like the film, like the main character of the film is Anthony's whatever you want to call it, dark side, Anthony's addiction, Anthony's lack of control, Anthony, like that's the main character of the movie, kind of.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like considering that's what Denis grounds us in is Adam, and if they were saying
But is Adam like
we
that?
think that's
Is
what
Adam
is,
that terrible?
but what is Adam if not those sides of Anthony though? Like I don't think Adam's terrible, no, like entirely, but he is as
Um,
as the metaphor is functioning. What else is he?
I think he's almost like another version of what Anthony fears, which is like getting stuck in a cycle of like a kind of commitment thing.
Mm.
Because like I don't think Adam is that negative. Or like he's not like this kind of dark triad, of like traits kind of thing. He's just kind of like he's pretty meek and pretty I don't know, subordinated or whatever. So he's pretty passive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I don't feel like Adam doesn't feel like the one who's hitting this like secret boys club or whatever
No,
necessarily.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
but before I forget, there's also like this theory like also just makes like perfect sense with like the photo as well being teared up later. So like Adam has like this teared up photo that he uses to see that it's the same person that was like in the apartment when it was like not teared up. So like Adam would definitely,
Wait, hang on, but what does that mean?
Well, it just like confirms like the theory, I guess, that Adam comes after Anthony.
Oh, yes, because the photo's torn up there. Yeah, and it's not later. I see. But is Adam? Does he come? Does he come after?
Well, maybe he's a representation of what could come after.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Like, I mean, or like if you forget about the girlfriend, then everything else could be literal. Like he could just be a professor.
Yeah, yeah,
just a depressed professor, with the ex relationship.
yeah. That's true. Damn, this movie's kind of hard. I mean, I feel like we're doing a decent job, but
yeah, I feel like I've like realized this stuff before and totally forgotten it, and now I'm like remembering it. This whole timeline thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is pretty like it being like a puzzle box movie. You can kind of piece it together. Like it's not like totally abstract, Like it's somewhat experimental, but it's not like it's not like you can take anything from it. It's telling like a kind of a succinct story, I guess. And the metaphor is very direct, spider, women, infidelity,
Yeah, no, absolutely. That
like
is
all the
that is
pieces are there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. Um, man, okay. I feel like, I don't know. we that's a great note to leave that part of the film on. I think the I mean, you already talked about, I think, some aspects of like the visuals, and we already talked about the score and stuff. But like the atmosphere was the word I'm looking for. What you brought up, it's it's very strong in this movie for sure. This film, I don't know how you feel about this. It feels kind of, I don't know, like the exteriors in this film like really stand out to me. They feel very like almost like I'm in the Matrix or something. Like this
Mm.
very
Oh,
stark, very like almost hot, even like I don't know.
right. Well, I mean, there is like a tint over like the whole movie, kind of
Oh, of
like the
course.
Matrix. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like the exteriors are supposed to represent, I guess, interiors, like his subconscious. Um, so I mean, in that way, it's kind of similar to the Matrix because I mean,
Mm,
everything in the Matrix is, well, it's a program in the Matrix, but it's kind of happening in his head, like more or less, you know. So,
yeah.
mm.
The Adam parts. If we're still saying that. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Is there? I mean, I already brought up a few shots that I really liked, but I don't know. Is there anything that particularly stood out about the colors, certain scenes, shots? Um, yeah.
um, I think what you were saying, like kind of the wide shots. There are some scenes that are kind of not like okay. The scene where he rings up the apartment building, and you have this kind of droning shot of the apartment building. I thought that was kind of not amateurish, but like that felt like not great. I guess that felt like the only part of the film that was kind of like meh. Um, but like
Okay.
everything else, like establishing the city as this kind of like force in itself.
Mm,
Um, and like when we see the city from the highway, like after they go to the hotel room and stuff like that, like it does feel like it's a character in itself. So
yeah.
I like how
Yeah.
the movie does that very well.
Yes, I agree. It feels. It makes the city feel very alien to me. Like very.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right. Very much like its own presence in the film. It really does stand out like that. Um, yeah, it's crazy. The whole atmosphere of the film. You're not wrong about that because the score's so good in this movie.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know why it's so good, but like the oh,
No,
I didn't even look up who composed it. Unfortunately, I should have done that. Do you know who composed it? I'll look.
I don't. But I was gonna say like that one thing with like the few notes that like keeps playing. That's like such a strong freaking motif, Like, like the four notes or whatever. I don't know.
I think
It
so. I
plays
think I
like
do. I think I do.
a few times.
I looked up enemy composer and I just got the Imagine Dragons song. But no, here, Danny Bensi and Saunder Jurians. I've totally botched that. Um, these guys. Oh wow, these guys composed Ozark. Oh, these guys have done a fair bit. Speak No Evil. Uh, bunch of other movies. Windfall. Oh, Windfall. There you go. Friends of the show.
Oh, damn.
They
That's
seem to be a duo. They seem to do like everything together. Apparently, that's interesting. So yeah,
right.
no,
Okay.
that shit was cool. The music was very good. What stood out to me, speaking of spiders, was like the it was playing over. Yeah, it was playing over like the scene at the start in like the club or whatever. Which why? Oh my god, I should have talked about how that whole thing was lit because that thing was lit insane. That whole
Yeah, I
scene,
was like,
but
gold. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, 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 and like I don't know, just the way it focuses on all these older dudes like watching was
Mm,
very,
yeah.
very creepy. But um, like the score there is like very spidery. I guess it's like it has that like strings and then like
Yeah.
the
Like
what do
sharp
you call it?
strings.
The sharp strings? Exactly, that's exactly what I meant. Yes, yes, very. It's like I don't know, like you feel like it's like a spider like prancing around or whatever. Is what it sounded like anyway. which was suitable. It's funny, like there's just, I guess, there's sort of different things to focus on in this movie than we kind of usually do, but because it feels weird that we haven't talked about the acting, but we can now, I guess. How did you feel about Jake acting and
Mm.
acting with himself? And I guess the main question is like the two personas, and how he pulls those off.
Yeah, no, he's great. He makes him feel very different. You can just very easily tell who's who.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't like it's kind of crazy because like they're not doing that much. I mean, I don't know how much they're doing makeup wise, but like they almost like look different, like the beard on Anthony is maybe like darker or something, or maybe they just like made him look darker, but I don't know how much like a jacket and just acting different can go to like make you actually look different, but they somehow achieve that.
Yeah,
So that
agreed.
was pretty great.
It's probably very subtle things that like I couldn't even exactly point out. Like obvious, like I definitely noticed Adam's like hair was just ordered differently at times. It was a bit disheveled or a bit like his beard was a bit more messy at times. Things like that. But outside of that, yeah, there wasn't much to it. I don't know. Maybe it was. There might be subtle makeup for sure. I definitely didn't notice it, but maybe, I don't know. Hey, maybe it is just the hair and the acting that goes that far. Because I mean, I agree with you. They did feel very different. I think my favorite parts of like when Jake is acting with himself, like I get mainly in the hotel scene is actually when it stands out the most. I think. It's cool because it's him doing his like best two ranges with himself. Like we think I like Jake Gyllenhaal as like cocky and confident, and then it's that versus like him looking like he's almost about to cry all the time.
Yeah, like Donnie Darko, Jake.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like Adam really does look like he's about to cry like 80% of the time. So like it's like Jake doing his best acting, his best two ranges, like in the same scene with himself. It's like it's pretty good. You can't really complain there. He's like in that hotel room scene, it looks like he's like almost trying to make himself not cry, like because Adam's falling apart. Oh man. Do you think, I don't know, is Denis going to go back to his collaboration with? I don't think he hasn't worked with Jake since Prisoners, right? I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's Jake doing these days.
Well, I saw him recently in that oh my god, that Guy Ritchie movie, whatever, the war one,
The war.
the one where it wasn't Afghanistan or something.
Oh right, yeah, like the Covenant or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. And then and I know he did the Roadhouse last year, right? As well, I think.
Oh yeah, Roadhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of just does whatever. So I don't know, but no, that'd be. I mean, obviously, it'd be good to see them back again.
Absolutely. It just kind of surprised me when I realized that because I'm like, he's seminal in Denis, two first English films, obviously, and then it's like, where'd he go? I feel like that would set you up to be a regular,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
But Denis moved on. I don't know. Maybe they had a falling out.
He was done with him. Yeah. Got what he wanted.
No, to be fair, I don't think Denis hasn't actually reused a ton of actors. Actually, I don't think.
No, I mean, yeah. Where did Amy Adams go? She just came and went. Emily Blunt came and went.
Absolutely. Yep.
Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Benicio came and went.
Yeah. Sure.
Actually, that's actually the thing with Denis is that
he doesn't reuse actors more than once.
He hits them and quits them. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Outside of obviously, June doesn't count because it's a franchise. Outside of that, it's like, dude, he doesn't. Like, I guess I've never thought about this, but one thing guaranteed this means about whoever he casts as Bond or anyone in that movie at all is that it has to be someone he's never worked with before. And no one in that movie,
Right.
he cannot have worked with them ever.
But I mean, he probably hasn't worked with many British actors anyway. But,
Yeah, maybe not. Of that, yeah, in that sort of age range, maybe not. Yeah. In that under 33 age range.
oh, perfect age right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this will mark. Yeah, this epiphany I've just had. It'll be a monumentous day when I think the word's momentous. I don't know, whatever. It'll be a big day
Monumental.
when monumental when we learn that Denis, like, oh my god, he's working with the same actor again. Holy shit, that's crazy. In a different project. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, he's worked with Dave.
Oh,
Blade Runner and
right.
Dune.
Yeah, true.
Shit.
I was gonna say, like, the day he does that, he'll be like washed. He'll like he's not sticking to his formula, so he'll just fall apart. But
yeah, when we hear the news that he's cast Ryan Gosling again, it's like, oh shit, this movie's gonna be bad.
No,
but no, you're right. We pointed out Dave, so we saved that. That theory's not true, luckily. But no, I would like to see Jake and Denis reunite for sure.
Has Jake had like an angrier two characters than like the Prisoners guy and Loki and Anthony?
Wow. I mean, I haven't seen Roadhouse. I feel like isn't that guy meant to be like a fighter or something? He'd be pretty angry.
Yeah, but he looks like pretty like jovial, He looks pretty like, I don't know, like fighting is kind of like a joke to him or something. I don't know. I'm sure he has his serious moments. Okay. Oh, the Southpaw is pretty serious in that, but
because he's like a serious fighter in that, isn't he?
Yeah, and his like wife dies and stuff.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
I don't think that's a spoiler. I think that's the premise of the film.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, you are right in terms of like, I mean, like, Denis really brings out, that kind of, the rage in Jake really well. I mean, both his collaborations, but here too, like that mirror scene is fucking. Even though he's acting in that, it's still great. Even though the character's acting, I mean,
he's acting within acting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were like thinking about what's Jake done recently, and it's like I look at his like all his credits since 2020, and they're like all things that, like, we did The Guilty on the show. Totally forgot about that. We did. Oh, I mean, obviously we're big Ambulance fans. You more so than me, but Ambulance, how can we forget? And then
that's true. Yeah.
And then I totally forgot he was in like my third favorite show of last year, Presumed Innocent, rather. He was in that. He was the main character. How did I forget?
Well, who was the girl in that? Wasn't she in the thing we did? Like, it was Chase Infinity. Was she in that, or was that a different show?
Wait, was she? Oh shit! Hang on.
Or am I thinking of a different?
Oh my god, she was! Holy shit!
Okay. I think I saw that like last week in the cars.
You connected the dots for me big time there. I did not even notice that. Wow. I thought I'd never seen Chase Infinity before, and I've actually seen her in 8 episodes of a show. Wow.
Crazy.
That is crazy. God damn.
Helen, she's good. The actress. What's her name?
Oh, Sarah Gaden, or I don't know how you say that. Gaden, I think.
Oh yeah, so Sarah Gaden, yeah.
Gaden. That sounds better.
Yeah, she was pretty great. She played the kind of the suspicious wife, but not in like a weird way. She played that well.
Agreed. Yeah, I rooted for her for sure.
Yeah. You could definitely feel her kind of struggle. So yeah. She was the victim of the film, So
definitely
of Anthony Adam.
What do you think? I guess I'll dive back into the whole conversation one last time. Well, that scene when he's like sitting in bed next to her, and he's like, I don't know, obviously acting very strange, or at least acting strange for Anthony. Like, I guess there's multiple layers to think about, but if we want to go with Nemo, where it's like what the hell is she thinking there in Nemo world? where it's just like it is actually this guy Adam who's broken in or whatever, and he's like trying to sit there. Like, how did she read that in that moment? You know?
Well, she did say like, "How was school today?" So she is like suspecting
Oh
it.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
She is like suspecting it, but I really love that scene though. There's something like like intimate about that scene that's really good.
Yeah. Are you meant to feel like Adam goes there with the intent to be intimate with her, right? Or like that's what he thinks he wants to do because he's trying to get back at because he
Like his
knows
revenge.
he knows Anthony's doing the same with his girlfriends, so he's going there. That's how I read it. Like that's what I thought the motive
Yeah.
was. And then when he gets there, he like realizes how like terrible this is and like he can't actually do this. And obviously with her being pregnant, a whole other like that's crazy.
Right. Yeah. He might have half like had that as a plan, but I don't know. I don't know how much revenge he kind of had in him, but
Yeah. I think it might have been like a vague idea that he wanted to, like he thought it sounded like without thinking about it too much, it sounded like a good idea kind of thing. But like I don't think he really had it in him to do it. But
yeah. I mean, yeah, I wasn't really thinking about how he like thought it was fucked up, but I guess that might have been what he was thinking. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of like that scene where he's kind of like crying afterwards?
After that?
Yeah.
Wait. Well, you're gonna have to help me.
Because he like comes out of the room and he's like crying, and then she like comes out as well and like talks to him.
Oh yeah, and they couldn't sleep. Yes, sorry, gotcha. In Nemo world, I would say you brought that you made the comparison once, and I'm just running with it because it makes sense to me. I don't know. I guess it would just be like him breaking down of like, oh my god, like what am I doing here, kind of thing. Like why have I?
Oh yeah.
Why is this shit happening? But like, I mean that whole the before and after of that. If we're going to try and timeline that shit, bro, I don't even know how to do that. It's like,
yeah, I guess the bigger question I'm asking is like, what does him being there represent as like an imposter in like the inverse like way?
Yes,
you know?
yes. Oh,
is that like the height of his like guilt or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I guess like that makes literal kind of sense because he like feels like an imposter in like the relationship or whatever, and he's breaking down because he's done something or whatever. Or maybe he realizes the gravity of it there. And he's like,
Yeah, I agree with all that. But then it's also like we haven't even because that scene is parallel to the car crash. I feel like they kind of like we didn't really even talk about that. Like, what's the car crash?
Yeah, I don't know. That's yeah.
The fact that those two scenes are simultaneous, like that stumps me.
The car crash. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I guess they could just represent the end of a relationship or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure.
Crash Out,
yeah.
The original Crash Out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Damn. Just what I thought. I thought we had this movie in our hands. You know what I mean? I thought we had it all. And it's like, shit, there's more.
Well, I mean, okay, if we go timeline-wise, I think, like, the car crash, obviously, well, I don't think the car crash happened, timeline-wise. But, like, I guess it would just represent, like, the end of the fling relationship or whatever. And maybe also the end of the actual thing. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to the comment that she makes in the bed, the wife, about, what did you say? She said, like, oh, you had a bad day at school or something.
Yeah.
I was going to say it supports timeline theory, doesn't it? Because it means they are the same like, how can it be Nemo theory when that's how I read it as a clue towards timeline theory. Because it's like, it's again, it's the one guy, he was an actor, it's all the holistic view of it.
Right. Yeah, well, like, just to clarify, like, I think everything in the movie is like Nemo, but it translates to timeline theory on like on the higher level,
Okay. So is that okay? All right, but does every line have to work for both? I guess is my question.
No, I don't think so. Because I think, like, if they split, then she wouldn't say that, and he probably wouldn't be with her. Although it's possible because they have like a kid that they like. Even if he cheats, he like stays with her anyway.
Yeah.
Because that obviously happens. So
yeah.
I guess in that sense, like, yeah, that line would work in both Nemo and timeline worlds.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not looking at it as an either or thing. It's like it's you can understand the film in both ways. Or like I think am I understanding correctly that like you view the film primarily through Nemo? Well,
I just think we're piecing together like the timeline or whatever, but I think like maybe it's like a semantic thing that we're actually getting at here. But I think there is like, you have to see it as like a literal world in a sense, even if it's a metaphor, Like in Kafka, in like the Metamorphosis, when he turns into a bog, it's like, and then the family doesn't love him anymore because he can't like go to work or whatever. It's like, it's a metaphor for that, and like maybe you could piece together, some timeline there where he actually like, like gets hit by a car or something in the real world, but like still,
right.
Like he still literally turned into a bog in the movie, in the world, in the universe of the story. So
yes. So
it's simultaneous, I guess. Yeah.
So in that sense, within the literal universe of the story, I'll use it again, in Nemo theory, in Nemo world, when they're sitting there in bed and the wife says, "Did you have a bad day at school?" Is that her knowing she's talking to Adam?
That's her suspecting it, yeah.
And she seems like, okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. If she does realize it's Adam and seems okay with it, I guess that would make sense because Adam's like more like stable and stuff. Like he's like would literally represent his whole character could easily represent just like stability. So that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay. So also, again, sticking with the moral of the story is also, by the way, that then therefore in Nemo world, she does, the wife turns into a huge ass tarantula at the end of the movie. That's it. That's how the movie ends. She transforms into a tarantula. That is the ending of this movie.
That's what happens in the movie. Yeah, that's the universal movie. Yeah.
That's an incredible thing in this world that people can turn into animals large like that,
What's that called?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
This is actually a shapeshift. Like, Denis should have done more work into setting up the rules of his world, where he didn't really explain that people can shapeshift. Like, you didn't tell me I was watching a movie with people where people have powers to turn into anamorphing. He didn't tell me that he created a world where people can anamorph. Like, why not?
Yeah, he didn't tell you till the end, I guess. Although maybe the mother, does the mother anamorph into the massive spider, or is it just a representation?
Do you think
We just
everyone
don't
knows
see
it's her?
them. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like her.
Oh,
It's,
that's
yeah, it's her
Jake's
power.
mom. Yeah.
It's, what? She's like the only one on Earth who's that big. Like, she's like famous. She's famous for it. It's why
Mhm.
she actually kind of had a bit of a fancy house, to be honest. Like,
She had one?
did you not think she had a fancy house? Like, she
Oh,
had a
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
crazy looking house.
No, yeah. And I think, like, there was a poster in the back. I don't know if it was, like, the actress, Isabella Rossellini, on the poster, but, like, it's setting her up as, like, an actress or something, I think. Like a famous actress or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. So wow, she okay, huh? Maybe that's it. She is actually famous for being that. Everyone knows she is the giant spider,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's
everyone else. It's like the thing where it's like fantasy worlds where everyone has their own like animal alt or whatever. Like
mm,
everyone just knows like mine is I'm a I don't know whatever a tiger, a seal, whatever. Everyone just like turns into animals in this world.
yeah. Except the only ones we see are spiders for some reason.
For some reason. Maybe that's what happened at the end. Jake walked into the room. His wife became the tarantula. And like he's obviously in the world well aware of this power she has. And he's like, "Oh fuck, here we go again." You know, I've had to fight my spider wife before, and I'm going. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I know what this
Mm,
means. Maybe that's what it is.
yeah. Or like it's like in Looper where some of them have telekinesis or whatever. Like
Oh yeah,
it's just like accept the part of reality.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you should make a whole movie in this world about the people who can't like, or the one person who can't become an animal. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
make a plot about that.
Yeah. It's a whole new world for someone who can't animorph.
Oh, someone who can't animorph. Yeah, the one person who can't. That's never been done before. Okay. Um, final verdicts. Ready?
Oh yeah. Really? Yeah.
Okay. This movie's hard. I'm happy to stick with my 7. I think it's a really good movie. A lot of cool things going on. I enjoyed our attempt. I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, I think we get the metaphor well and truly fine. And our puzzle box conversation was fun. But yeah, no, it's a very good movie. I'll leave it at that. I'll give it a 7.
Yeah. I have it. I think I had it on a 9, but I'll hit it. I'll put it down a notch to an 8. There was some slowness, I guess, that I felt. But yeah, still a very finely constructed film. Great in all technical aspects. Yeah.
Do you think the slowness came a little bit from like fatigue viewings or?
Uh, yeah, maybe. But I think like this film is definitely like slow in parts, and like it was definitely like the first half. And kind of like that apartment, that whole scene kind of did something to me where I don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It probably is fatigue viewings a bit. Um, but like the
There's a lot
details,
of
like picking up on the details, is kind of something
yeah.
that counteracts that, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's always something going on that feels important. There was that one shot also. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about where um oh fuck, I'm probably gonna get the wrong way around now. Where it's relatively late in the movie, I think, or maybe like 2/3 the way through, where Anthony walks into his apartment and then he walks off camera, and I think oh, I don't want to make stuff up that's not in the shot, but basically the gist is that he walks into his apartment, um, and then he walks off camera into the bathroom, and then the camera pans around, and then he's sitting, and then he's there like leaning over the mirror, like sort of like looking in the mirror or whatever. And the way that scene felt to me, it felt like Anthony becoming Adam. It felt like Anthony walked
Oh,
in, then he walked off camera, and then the camera panned around, then we met Adam at the mirror.
Adam at the mirror. Is this like when he was like pretending, like when he was like rehearsing?
No.
No.
No. Yeah, it's kind of a longer shot of the mirror. Like, it wasn't a close-up of him at the mirror. It was like, it's kind of just panned to him being there.
Oh, like at the end?
No. Let's after the review, let's
Not
find it
sure.
on Stan and see if I want to see if you agree with me. I feel like there's some visual storytelling going on there. That's how I read it.
Okay.
And that was like another, like, I thought it was like a visual clue of like them being the same. But yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Anyways, I feel like every time we try and move on, the film crawls its way back. But anyways, now it's time for our highlights of the week. Fitzy, what have you been watching?
I watched You Will Meet a Tall Dark Stranger from Redacted director. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I was like, I was shocked seeing the Letterboxd averages and the ratings and reviews and stuff. I just thought it was like super funny. It was like pure Redacted director. You know, his kind of humor, his style. It was almost like a combination of his humor and style and like almost the endings to certain scenes and the comedy in it felt almost like kind of Curb Your Enthusiasm-y, but like not in the way of like people over explaining, like, you know, like being annoyed by basic things, but like that kind of thing where you can like play the theme over it, you know. So
Okay.
it got a lot of lols from me, and the film just looks like so cool. It's got this like nice like haze over it, and it just feels very like cozy and like romantic. And even though like it's not really romantic, it's kind of like all the characters are kind of selfish and scummy in their own kind of ways. But it's you know it's like they're all kind of, what do you call it? They're all having the kind of romantic mishaps or whatever. So that's the kind of theme. But like I watched like an interview before even watching this, because I think that's what got me onto it. It was Redacted talking about the theme of the film or whatever, and like the start of the film starts with like the Shakespeare quote, like life is like the play, like a play full of sound and fury, like signifying nothing. The narrator as well. I love the fucking like neutral narrator or whatever. That could annoy people, but I don't know. I find it awesome. But like it's just, this is like such a perfect like play kind of movie where it just like perfectly represents the kind of stated theme that it has, and it just does that so well in each kind of like sub story. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was great. Josh Brolin looks hilarious. He's like a novelist, and he's got this kind of just like full like look to him, you know. He just looks like a full man, you know. Like he's got like a full head of hair and a full body. It's not like too like chiseled or anything. It's just like he looks like a blocky like guy, you know. He looks really good. He looks really funny. But I thought it was great. And Frida Pinto, yeah, she's really great in this movie. Yeah, I'll tell you more about that later. But there's nothing to tell actually. I don't know why I said that, but like the casting is really great. I'll say that. But yeah, I don't know. Beyond that, I can't even tell you why I loved it so much more than other people do. I mean, I think people see it as a kind of light film or something, or like kind of, you know, there isn't like anything too dramatic that happens in it, I guess. and it is like a pure kind of comedy. But there's just so many clever things the film does, and the kind of misery that all the characters have. They're like drinking in like every second scene. That's something I noticed as well. And like it feels so much like a play because like the stage direction there's like this one scene with Brolin and Naomi Watts and like Naomi, her like mother, and it's like I don't know. It's like they go from like one side of the apartment to the other, and it just feels so like well staged and directed, and it feels like like very playish, very like theatrical. But yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
I've got pictures here of Brolin in this movie, and his hair is something. I'll say that.
Yeah, I love his hair in the film. Yeah.
He looks like a nudie character. Is that
well? He's
accurate?
Like the literary character or whatever. Like he's trying to write like a novel.
Okay, yeah, he looks like a guy trying to write a novel. That's exactly how I'd put it. Actually, that's pretty spot on.
Oh, it's like I guess he's like a failed novelist in a way in the film.
Yeah, he looks failed for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does not look like a successful novelist.
But like that's like everyone in the film just fails, apart from like one couple. But like it's just this like this tale of sound and fury, like signifying nothing. It's just really the theme's really well executed. So yeah.
Is that like? I mean, it doesn't sound like. I mean, maybe the outcomes of the stories are all different, but like, is that kind of like cozy, colorful, romantic vibe atmosphere? Is that kind of what like Redacted does? Is that like his trademark? Would you say?
I think he does it a bit in like the later films or whatever. Didn't you watch like Cafe Society or whatever? That feels a bit like that. It's
yes,
kind of like colorful, Paris vibes. I think that there's a bit of that. It's not so much there in like the earlier stuff though, like Annie Hall. Like Manhattan is like black and white, so that doesn't really count anyway, and that's more like sharp. There's like a lot of sharp cinematography in that. So like I think it is a pretty big feature of his later stuff, like the later stuff that is set in like cities specifically, because this one's in London. Actually. Or like Midnight in Paris has maybe a bit of that. Not to this extent.
Oh yeah, yeah. It became his later in life trademark, apparently. Excellent. Okay, well done. Good job, Redacted.
Yeah.
I wrapped up Black Rabbit on Netflix this week. This is the show with Jason Bateman and Jude Law. It's actually got a stacked cast, huge cast. Not like a stacked cast in terms of like all A-list actors, but I just mean like it's actually got a huge cast of people, some recognizable. These two play brothers who have opened this restaurant in New York City, and it's basically that premise or that like setting, I guess, and then it just becomes Ozark, where you have these are the people, this is the setting, the place, the context, and then they just now owe like the cartel heaps of money, and they've got to like scrape to survive, basically. And like every time you think they've just they've just got enough money, they're just about to be free, and then like either something else happens or one of them makes a terrible decision. Usually one of them makes a terrible decision, and then like it fucks it, and then like keeps it going. That's like the whole of Ozark. The thing that I really like this show, and the thing that I kind of appreciated about it, I mean, I appreciate a lot about it, but one of the things that like stood out to me is that I just really appreciate it's a limited series, 8 episodes, you're done, complete story. Thank you very much. The show very much feels like a successor to Ozark outside of just that story context I mentioned, because like, I mean, it's got tons of the same creators behind the camera. It is, I think, it is basically just like the successor show to Ozark. And what a great decision to not make this another like serialized season thing, and just let's make a limited series out of this. Thank you so much. Because I know the one thing I think Ozark's a really good show, but like by the end, like, did it need to be 4 seasons long? And the fourth season was really long. I had a lot of episodes. I'm like, not really. So I appreciated like we got a bite-sized Ozark in a different setting, and it was just one and done, which I appreciated. Jason Bateman directs a couple of episodes. Like he came into drama directing in Ozark, and so he does that again here. Great, he's got great knack for directing. Have you seen Jason in much dramatic stuff? Because I think this is a more recent, like recent-ish. I don't know, like probably the last 10 years or so. He's been going more into that realm.
I mean, I saw Carry On. I guess that was like him being like more serious or whatever, like playing a bad guy and sort of comedy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've seen him like being like real, like dramatic, real like
Okay.
like a drama thing. I don't know.
Yeah. He's just really, I don't know. He's great. He really is. The thing that struck me, I mean, so his character in this show, Black Rabbit, is really annoying. But and I could see like some people just genuinely being annoyed by him, and by aspects of the show generally, like of people making bad choices and things like that. But like that's like the show is actually, like, without fully spoiling it, the show is actually kind of about how annoying this guy is. Like that's actually pretty much, that's like one of the core aspects of the entire narrative, actually, and like how and the resolution of it and everything, which is actually kind of funny. But the thing that struck me about his performance in this show is how different it feels to Ozark. It doesn't feel like, oh, Jason's in his dramatic gear, and his dramatic gear feels like this or like X or whatever. Like, exactly. Like, dude, his character in this show and his performance in this show feels so different to Ozark. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, it kind of blew me away a little bit. I'm like, I was watching the show, and obviously it helps. Like in this show, he's got like a full beard and hair and shit. Like he looks totally different to his Ozark character. But like he just plays it so differently too. And like, I don't know if you doubted his. I think he's a great actor. If you doubted his ability of like dramatically of like, oh, Ozark proves he can do drama, then it's like this proves he can do anything in drama, because like holy shit, he can like he's got total range, and that's well and truly proven. I think he's put all the doubts to rest there. And Jude Law's good, as you'd expect, for sure. This show just worked for me. I think I can see people not liking it. If I had to, aspects of it, I didn't love every aspect of the ending. I don't think it ties up. Like everything does tie up. I wasn't totally satisfied with every resolution for everything that was going on. The show has a lot of characters and has a lot of threads with them. And I think I think they're all pretty good. It just kind of by the end managed to tie them up, all of them up, for how many there were, almost like so neatly and succinctly. It like somehow, it's hard to explain. It almost felt like it gave like like a season's worth, which it is obviously a season's worth of narrative and threads, a 2-hour movie ending, where it just sort of, it all ended fine. It just kind of was like, by the end of it, I was kind of like, wow, you were playing with a lot of pieces there the whole time, and I didn't even know if you needed all those pieces. Like I enjoyed the ride with them, but like by the time we get to the end, it's like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, some of them like kind of felt like they were kind of combined, and yeah, it was just interesting like that. I don't know, but yeah, the show was just, I don't know. The acting's really great. The score's really great. I was along for the ride with these two people. I think it's got some really strong episodes. And yeah, it's another case of similar to your highlight. It's another case of I saw the scores afterwards, and they were kind of lower than I was expecting, to be honest. I'm like, oh. I mean, I kind of get it. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like it's not going to be my conversation for like top 3 shows of the year or anything. Probably not quite, but I was like, oh, this is actually kind of a low score for a TV show, to be honest. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought the show was really good. It worked for me, and I thought the core story of the main characters was great. And just a lot of great, I'll just say this, a lot of great New York City content in this show, you know. As a New York City lover, there's just a shit ton of it. So I enjoyed that as
Mm,
well. You know,
okay.
get into the nitty gritty, the depths, awesome establishing shots of just like cool places in New York City. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take that. Okay. Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show
Oh,
last week. Yes?
Jaden had an answer to her. He texted.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Last week we asked you which movie franchise would you like to watch again for the first time? I'll go to Leanne first. Leanne said the movie franchise I would like to watch again is Home Alone. While the franchise now has 6 films overall, does it really? It is the first. Wow! It is the first 2 starring Macaulay Culkin that are the best. The first Home Alone movie was released in 1990, while Home Alone 2: Lost in New York came out 2 years later. The first 2 were directed by Chris Columbus, with John Hughes as screenwriter and producer. Um, the worldwide box office revenue for the original Home Alone movie was nearly $500 million. That's an incredible return on a movie with a budget of just $18 million. Wow. And that's non-adjusted for inflation, I assume, as well. The second Home Alone movie also did very well. After that, and with different stars, directors, and producers, it all went downhill faster than a couple of wet bandits sliding down the snow-covered front steps of Kevin McAllister's home fortress. Yeah, I bet it did. I can't even believe there's 6. To be honest, I vaguely recall there being a third one with a different actor, and then I know there was that like recent Disney Plus one, but
Yeah.
I feel like there's 2 more that I didn't know about, which I guess shouldn't surprise me too much. But there you go, that's crazy.
Mm.
But yeah, the first 2 Home Alones, go back and revisit those for the first time. Yeah, that makes sense. Those are fun movies, except for like the cameo in the second one. But yeah,
Oh, that's like the best part of it.
probably is.
I
Do you
don't, I
want to
don't
do?
actually know if I've seen the second movie though. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, like not like in its entirety. I don't know if I have.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
actually,
I
no, because
think
I
I'm
remember like the scene, like the Scarface scene. That's in the movie, right? Where he's like in the hotel room.
yes.
Right. Okay. Maybe I have.
You
Mm.
remember that. The thing about the second movie, I'd probably actually rather watch the second movie. Like if I would have
Yeah.
to, like if I was sitting down, no, just because like the thing about the second Home Alone is that it's exactly the same as the first one, except he's lost in New York. Like it's
Mm.
that's it. Like, it's honestly structurally and plot beat wise almost exactly the same. But like I'd rather just watch watch Kevin get lost in New York and shit. Like I just think that's
Yeah.
kind of more
No, that's
entertaining than
fair.
him being at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, good answer there from Leanne. Go for it.
Yeah. Jaden said, if I could erase a series from my head and watch again, it would probably be Blade Runner. The original Blade Runner is shithouse and spits in the face of Philip K. Dick, but 2049's perfectness makes up for it. So,
Wow. Wow. It's all about one film.
yeah. Yeah,
Hey, it
that's
counts. It
true.
works. It's a franchise. That's funny. But then I guess he would have the benefit of being able to rewatch the first one without knowing it's shithouse.
And then, well, have the second one recover it, like, really. Like, if he
Yeah,
knew about the
really.
novel and then he watched the first one, and he'd be, like, really low, you know? He'd be so low that the second one would, like, you know, transcend, he'd transcend himself or
Yes.
something, you know? He would
Yeah. It would be
have a
a
spiritual
religious
experience.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All over again. All over again.
Mm.
Yeah, that's probably worth it. That's actually, yeah, that's probably worth sitting through the first one for that. Okay. Excellent. Fitzy, what is a franchise you would want to rewatch again for the first time?
Um, I'll say the before the before trilogy, the before franchise.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, I rewatched Before Sunrise recently, and I think like it's almost a bad answer because I think they're like great films to like rewatch throughout like your life or whatever. But
True.
at the same time, they're so you know, kind of unique and perfect that I'd want to rewatch them like later, I guess. want to have like more life experience, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like as I said, I think rewatching them still works. Like there's less like of a fatigue effect with them than kind of sci-fi stuff. I think. Although I
Mm.
could, I think with Star Wars it's different. You can like rewatch that kind of endlessly. Um, but like 2049 definitely has like a fatigue thing for me, and Dune probably
Yeah.
does. So
Yeah. I actually agree with that. I've never really thought about that, but in terms of like hard sci-fi stuff or like harder sci-fi stuff, I guess. Yeah,
mm,
that is true. Interstellar, maybe. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that.
sure.
My answer is the Lord of the Rings because I feel like I did. I know for a fact actually. I did myself a disservice watching these when I watched them. I mean, I think everyone probably saw them pretty young, like our age, but I think I was too young, to be honest. I feel like if I watched these films again now, like if I'd never seen them and I got to watch them, like there's a very good chance I would like them like a fair bit more. And I'd be like, holy shit, this is cinema. You know, like I'd like be able to view it in that lens that a lot of people do. Whereas for me at the moment, like I watched them when I was too young to really appreciate them in that way. And well, the other aspect is that I distinctly remember watching Two Towers and Return of the King like for the first time on my portable DVD player. Just
I used to have one
the
of those.
smallest screen, the smallest screen available at the time, basically. So like, I definitely take that back as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I just really want to like these films more than I do, and I do like them a lot. But this is obviously something we've talked about a fair bit before, where it's just like I just don't love them. I just don't like fully connect with them as like my thing. And I feel like if I didn't watch them when I was 8, like I might have a better chance at finding that. You know what I mean? I feel like I was just too young,
No, but
and
that's
I
such
just
an
kind of didn't.
integral part of the experience, though. Like watching them on like 9 on like a Friday night, and you're like falling asleep by the end. That was like that was peak Lord of the Rings. You know, that was.
But that's what I mean. I don't think it is though. Like I think like that sounds like nostalgia coded and nice and all that, but like for like the actual enjoyment and ability to appreciate the films, I don't think it's good enough actually for those films. Like that works for like I don't know, like fucking J.J. Abrams' Star Trek or something. Like I don't know, like it works for other films, but
Maybe.
I feel like these films. I feel like these films kind of maybe this is also again me just like projecting wanting to like them more, but like I feel like these films deserve better than I gave them. You know. They aren't just like cool action films that were around when we were kids or whatever. Like they are Academy Award winning
Right.
films.
Yeah, but I feel like I've been chasing that experience, though. You know, like I don't feel like I've been trying to replace it with like a more like with a keener eye or anything. I feel like I've just been trying to hit that high I got when I was like, you know, 10 watching like Return of the King, you know.
In wait, in what? In rewatching them or
Yeah, like whenever we rewatch them, it's like you're always like comparing it to like the peak
oh, you
experience. It's like watching it as a kid.
for you it did you feel like it did peak when you were 10.
Yeah. Although I did rewatch like Fellowship and really like it like a few years ago, but like I
Yeah.
think the fantasy kind of element, like that was like the great. Yeah, that was peak when you were a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I think maybe for me, like, because I was such a Star Wars guy, I think for me, like, I wasn't fully in that gear yet. Maybe, like, I feel like I kind of like fantasy more as I've gotten older, actually,
Okay.
and therefore, like that combined with the filmmaking appreciation aspect as well. I feel like those two could work where 24-year-old Zach rewatching them for the first time could be like, this shit is goated, you know? Whereas now when I watch them, I'm too tired to not to the portable DVD player. I'm actually kind of too tired to when I watched the extended editions for the first time like 7 years ago, and I was just kind of bored. Unfortunately. Oh god.
Okay.
I do still really like Fellowship of the Ring though. Fellowship of the Ring is definitely my favorite. It's a banger.
I can't. I think I like Two Towers more. I think that was my most recent preference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think my thing is, I know this is heinous to a lot of people. I think I just need to avoid the extended editions. I think they just
maybe.
they're kind of they're too much for me, I think. When I'm sitting there at like 3 hours and 50 minutes in Return of the King, I'm like, God damn, dude, this movie's still got half an hour to go. That's crazy. Yeah. It's important to remember the extended edition isn't the one that won Best Picture. You know what I mean?
True.
I don't know if it would have.
True.
I'm just saying. That shit's kind of long.
Yeah, I mean, the Return of the King one is the one that kind of burns, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah. I don't disagree. Please don't hate us in the comments. All right. Andy wrote in his answer.
Wow, you're going to read all of this? That's crazy.
I don't know, bro. Like, is this the longest he's ever done? It might be. It has to be.
Yeah, I think so.
Look, I'm going to start it and we'll see how we go. I'm going to give myself an out. I'm just going to preface it by saying I might quit on this. I might like actually physically give up out of exhaustion, but I'll give it a go. Andy said, the most passionate question of the week response from me in a while because the answer is Ip Man, a pivotal core of my cinema upbringing during my childhood. Ip Man was Bruce Lee's master in real life who specializes in a martial arts style called Wing Chun. Note, you might have seen Robert Downey Jr. use this move in the underground fight scene for Sherlock Holmes. It's a popular Hong Kong film series that gave Donnie Yen international recognition, and a scene in Rogue One where Chirrut Imwe beats 10 stormtroopers was a tribute to this famous scene in the first Ip Man film, where he beats 10 Japanese black belts. I remember despising Japanese people more often as a primary school kid after watching the first film. Either way, I would love to watch this franchise all over again for the first time, but all at the theaters. Like 2008 me has to be at the cinemas for the release of the first ever Hitman. The first two films released in 2008 and 2010 were the pinnacle of my childhood as I found myself rewatching them, although the second half of Hitman 2 felt like a racially motivated remake of Rocky 4. And the British colonizers were obviously played by bad actors, but that's a Hong Kong cinema trope where evil Brits were always portrayed in a cartoonish way. All right. And then 2015 came around with the highly acclaimed release of the third film, especially the selling point being Mike Tyson's supporting role, where he does get to fight with Donnie Yen on screen. That sounds kind of wild. The third film was majestically different than the first two, which was refreshing, and the fight scenes felt more elegant than the groundbreaking stuff from the first two, as they brought in Michelle Yeoh and Donnie Yen's longtime mentor, Yun Wu Ping, to be an action cinematographer for the third one, a legendary Hong Kong choreographer who was famously directed action scenes for both Kill Bill and the Matrix trilogy. Am I at the quitting point yet? Resolve, Zach, resolve. Chiang Tin-Chi, played by Max Zhang, was my favourite rival of Ip Man's for the entire series. A fellow Wing Chun challenger whose character was memorable. A spin-off was made about Chiang Tin-Chi's 3 years after the release of the third film. Yun Pu Wei...
Wait, what are you up to?
I think I'm about halfway. Yun Pu Wing directed. Oh God. Oh. Oh. Do you want to tag in? No. Oh God.
Oh, dude. I missed you laughing for God damn it, my freaking headphones
Oh
died.
no! Oh, that's the. Oh. Okay,
You got this.
thank you. I appreciate the support. Yun Poo Wing directs this spin off. Wilson Yip directed all four of Donnie Yen's actual Ip Man films, while snatching WWE star Dave Bautista and Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh to star in the spin off. It's called Master Z Ip Man Legacy. Chung converted from Cantonese to Mandarin is Zhang, hence the Z. Oh, I see Master Z. And it has my favourite Dave Bautista performance in that film. Each of Dave and Michelle's fight scenes with Max Zhang was so epic to watch that it made the spin-off not feel out of place, out of place as the Bourne Legacy was to the Bourne franchise. Actually, sorry, I think I'm about halfway now. And there's also the fourth and final film, which came out in 2020, which I actually got to see at the cinemas in Melbourne with a mate, but I didn't like that one as much. It's where Yip Man visits his student Bruce Lee in America, and he just witnesses a bunch of racism take place, so he obviously rolls up his sleeve to take action for the last time. The most memorable thing about the fourth film was Bruce Lee's fight scene, played by Hong Kong actor and well-known Bruce Lee lookalike Danny Chan, and I still appreciated how the final film ended. I think it's stupid hiring British actors to play every Yankee, but I've looked up that this production was shot in Brighton, which apparently passes off as America in the 1950s. Kenji Kawai, a famous Japanese composer Jaden might have heard of, was extremely pivotal for the scores of all four films. The Ip Man films would never have been memorable without Kawai's work. Ip Man's theme never fails to leave my mind, and Donnie Yen has never been taken more seriously as an actor until this franchise.
Oh, you're one paragraph. Well, paragraph. One paragraph.
Yeah, this is my 3/4 time break. Oh god! All right. Okay. The storylines for the Ip Man series, despite it being around a real life martial arts grandmaster, every single thing here besides his family life and students were all fictional. Like Ip Man has never fought 10 Japanese black belts. I think he was a local police captain during World War II to earn a living after the Japs took away his property and possessions. Ip Man used to be rich, by the way. I mean, this is insane to learn that he was a real guy, to be honest. But yeah, Yip Man was never has never fought a racist British boxer in front of a crowd while he tried to settle into a quiet life in post-war Hong Kong. And he also has never set foot in America before. But despite all that, I think it fits in the term of franchise because it's designed to be crowd pleasing as opposed to a biopic. Oh no, I mean it's also just like a series of films, so yeah, it's a franchise. It is an entertaining way to depict the essence of Yip Man's influence he had on Chinese martial arts and the style of Wing Chun itself. Ip Man is far from critically the best thing we've seen from Hong Kong action cinema, but they were films that pumped up Asian kids all over the world because of Donnie Yen aura farming as a martial arts grandmaster who looked really skinny and old in real life. A folklore franchise is probably the best way to label this, and I would watch it for the first time if my memory was to be erased at this very moment. It's been your residential Hong Kong cinema nerd at it again, signing out. Thank you, Andy.
Over and out.
Over and out. Well done. Well done to me.
Well done, Zach. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. Yeah. Man, I feel like this episode was like on the longer side of normalish long.
Yeah.
And now we're in like actually starting to get into like top 5 longest episodes range just from Andy's. That's Andy's comment. Did
right,
that?
I learned.
Yeah, it did. But we appreciate Andy's support. Thank you. Even though I've basically lost my voice now, but that's okay. Now we got to wrap up. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment section, or join the Discord server as long as you write a maximum of 1 paragraph. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is, what is the best example of an actor sharing a scene with themselves? You know, when actors act with themselves like happened in this film, Enemy. You know. Or often there's just like dream sequences in films, you know, like little like bits or whatever, like they'll have a nightmare or some shit. Yeah. Let us know. What's the best example of that?
And it technically happens in next week's film,
Yes.
established earlier. Yeah.
Well, I think the bigger question is actually if it will be next week's film, but we think it'll be next week's film. But Fitzy, I feel like I'm about to have a bit of deja vu as to what we're doing next week.
Yeah, we happen to still be doing Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Couldn't do it without J Don, you know. So yeah, we'll do a little reboot on that attempt, and yeah, we'll do the series. So yeah.
Join us for what's going to be an epic quest over like 8 months, I guess, of doing these movies. But hopefully it's going to be fun. It should be fun. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But yes, I appreciate Liam for joining me as always. Appreciate Jaden wherever he is. He looked like he was in some like outdoor sort of bar setting by the looks of it. That looks fun.
Yep, he's in his element.
He's in his element. I can't say, like, I would like to say I'm in my element here on the podcast with you, and that is broadly true, but I can't say I'm in my element after what I just did in the last few minutes. So I think he's winning today. But anyway, that's it. Have a great rest of your week, everyone, and goodbye.